Welcome back to J&J Dynasty. We're going to go over a little video here and we're going to tell you some results. So as I told you guys in other videos that I was going to keep track of the drafts. So this is going to be in MFL, two different drafts. It's going to be the conglomeration of them, and I've got it broken down by rounds. So we'll go through it and go from there. All right, so I just remember I've got my thing switched around here on my slideshows. So this is going to be round one. So as we can see here, round one is pretty much chalk at the beginning of them. So I'll just explain this, how it goes. The very first column to the left is 1 through 12, so that way I can break it down by per round. Then the second one is obviously the player. M13, that is the month May, and 13, that's the name of the league. And then June, REN, that's another draft. So this is, and then sum all is going to be the average of them. And then a little bit further over, well, I guess you can't quite see that, is actually I'm gonna have to probably do this, is actually the number of so the sum all is the average. May and June is the month of them. So as I keep track, so this was where they were drafted in May, and then June. So every draft in June, which I have about 7 or 8 of them, will all go into that column, and that will be the average for June. So I can see by month as the offseason progresses how players are being picked. So pretty much chalk here. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, Jackson Smith-Njigba is always the third. It's 1, 2, 3 in every draft so far as rookies go. I shouldn't say that. Richardson jumped up in the May one, but I've already got into another couple drafts, and it's pretty much going to be, that's chalk. So as we can see here, Quentin Johnson going off the board 4th, Anthony Richardson 5th, Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, A-Chain, Kincaid, Kendre Miller, Charbonnet, and Bryce Young. So you can actually see where they were drafted in each one. So hopefully we'll get a high and a low out of this, so you can get a good acknowledgement. But as you can see, Flowers and A-Chain are 5.5 exactly. Anthony Richardson is just barely ahead of Addison, and as you can see, Kendre Miller is just barely ahead of Charbonnet and Bryce Young. So that's all going to wind up changing as we go along through this. So we'll have all of that fun stuff, right? Anthony Richardson has been a big wild card in the drafts that I've been seeing. He's going anywhere from 2 to 8. So he's the only guy that people are jumping up for, even in regular drafts, not super flex. So it's kind of crazy what he's pulling off out there, right? So A-Chain, for the most part, is coming in right here at chalk, right at number 6. So 7 and 5, he's right there. So that's usually the first running back off of the next tier, off of tier 2 for the running back. So if you have that information, if you have that and you got that information, so now you know where you need to go up to get him if that's who you want. And Zay Flowers, he's been, as we said, wide receiver 4 the whole way. Wide receiver 4. Hello. So we're going to go on to round 2 here. We're going to keep this kind of short. Sam Laporta, is the one guy who's jumped way up in the drafts, 12 and 16. So he's early half of the second round. Roschon Johnson is a little bit bigger swing. As you can see, these guys fall right off into the 20s right away. So this is a hodgepodge, and it's going to be a hodgepodge for a while of who's actually getting drafted in there. Roschon Johnson, is higher than I thought he would wind up being. Michael Mayer, C.J. Stroud, obviously you can see the separation between the two draft picks that they had there. Oops, let me go. What did I do there? So there you go. The one that I thought was pretty intriguing is that Chase Brown is going higher than I expected him to. I thought he'd be very late second round, even into the third round. So got that going here. Um, the other one is Tajay Spears. I mean, he's a lot higher than I thought he would be. A lot of mock drafts and things like that were showing him in the back half of the second. I mean, 2 months ago he was in the early half of the second, but that's not what it's been looking like here recently. So we've got that action happening, right? So let's go on to the next one. So let's hit round 3. So Israel Abakanda. So Israel, I mean, he's the one that's going off first in the third round here. Hyatt Musgrave, Cedric Tillman, and Nate Dell. So he's the one that's I'm very surprised that he's there. You can see that he's all the way up to 17 and pick 30. So that's a big discrepancy between, the guys. So it is what it is. This is how the numbers are averaging out. All right. It's weird that Dwayne McBride is getting more love than Zach Evans. So Will Levis, Hull. Levis he's had a big swing, 51 and 31, and Evan Hull is in the 40s. So you can really see some swings on some of these guys in here, and as you can see, their numbers tail off quickly. Just to explain what I'm doing is I've got 85 guys. So if they aren't drafted, I'm going to put an 85 in there. So that way there's a bigger separator between that. So if guys get drafted in like one league or two leagues at all, I'm going to be able to put them in there for that. So, and if for some reason some guy gets drafted in round 10 because somebody's drafting that deep, I'll put him at like 84 just so he gets a little bit of an uptick. But I want a greater separation with these guys who are getting really late picks. So, but this is your round 3 with Evan Hull coming in at the end there and Will Levis being a very late third round pick, right? So in the 4th round, and this is as far as we're going to go in the 4th round, is Gray, Xavier Hutchinson, Sean Tucker. Even with his heart problems, as you can see, he wasn't drafted in one league, 85 and a 37. So quite a bit of variance there. But as you can see how that happens with these guys, and the rest of the guys through 85, I just have them in the draft order, which they were picked in the NFL draft. So as it happens, as guys do wind up getting picked here and there, that's what's going to happen. So these are all the guys that you're actually getting picked at all in this draft, right? So that shows you where everybody's at. So as you can see, 85, they average to 85, they haven't been drafted. So you only really have basically 3.5 rounds of rookies that are getting drafted, and that's what the size of it all is. So as always, you can always pause, and hopefully I left these stats up long enough as far as that goes, so you can come back and reference them at any time. So that's the video for today. All right. And hopefully this helps out. So once again, this is a 1 quarterback PPR standard dynasty drafts that I'm making these, and it was for two different drafts. So this is the amalgamation or the average, the mean, however you want to say it, of these 2 drafts. So hopefully that gets you a little bit more towards a standard consensus in all these drafts. With that being said, that's all I have left. As always, like, please put a comment, hit the bell because I'm going to be doing a few more, almost through another first round draft on another draft. So I will be updating these hopefully every couple days as drafts come through to help you keep abreast of your drafts and go from there. So thank you everybody for watching. Like, give me a thumbs up, right? Click the subscribe button and leave a few comments. Love to have a few chats. Until next time, draft well.